Welcome to this week's episode of Success in Women. I'm Linda.
I'm Andrea.
And in honor that we're doing this because Mother's Day is in a couple of days, I actually even wore a dress. And this is a brand new dress. I haven't even worn it before. Now, I have to tell you, I bought it last year and never wore it. I bought it at Costco because it's a nice shift dress with deep pockets. And you know, with women and moms in particular, they've always got things in their pocket, whether it's candy or Kleenex or a Band-Aid, they've got things in their pocket. So I wore that in honor of Mother's Day. But what we wanted to do this week was just, besides the fact that we want to acknowledge all the mothers, Andrea's going to start off instead of a tip. She wants to tell you kind of like, it's sort of a joke interview that she saw online. And this will resonate with you mothers. So Andrea?
Yeah. So I'm sure some of the women watching have seen it, but maybe not. But I came across this posting, and it was a couple of men interviewing people for a job, or they thought they were interviewing for a job. They took men, they took women, elderly, younger, was a whole different array of people. And so it starts off like, oh, you'll be required to do this work, maybe 18 hours a day. Sometimes it might be around the clock. Weekends, for sure, you're going to have to work most weekends. You might get some vacation time here or there. And when they first started doing the interview, it was a simple, easy ask. And they were like, okay, yeah. And then all of a sudden you see their faces start to change when they're like, you might have to clean up some messes at times. You will be required to do jobs that maybe you're not used to. And as the interview went on, you could see their faces drop. And at the end, they would just say, no, I don't think this job is for me. But anyway, so after they ran through quite a few people, at the end, they told them all that they had been interviewing for a mother's job. And it was just hilarious, the reaction that people got, and that nobody wanted the job. So it just goes to show you what's required of a mother. And we're not just talking about biological mothers here. We're talking about adoptive mothers, stepmothers, godmothers, women that are in mentor roles, that are helping other mothers. They also take on the jobs of being a mother at times. And
I know, because I consider myself an aunt, but an auntie mom, in the sense of the real auntie and a mom, because, with my sister's kids, and one of them is my godchild as well. But I always felt like that was my parenting and my role. And when you talk about mentoring and stuff with young people, I consider myself with that mom role. And my assistant a lot of times will always say that I'm like her second mom, because I'm older than her, but I help her in a lot of, ways that a mom would do.
Exactly. And, sometimes, like I've had in younger years when my daughters were going to college, I've had their friends live with us. And they always said that, oh, you're like my mom, my mom's not here. So, I look up to you as my mom. And so moms are in all different avenues of life. And women take that job pretty seriously, I think, and it's great to acknowledge a person that you consider a mom. It could be your actual mother, or women that have, mothered you along the way. I have a great friend, and she happens to be a godmother of one of my daughters. But when I first moved here, I looked up to her because she was she had answers for me in my situation that I found myself in. And I always looked up to her as a mother figure, because my mother was so far away. But, and I
But
always,
also sometimes, don't you find there's some women that you find it easier to talk to
yes,
than your own mom. And
yes,
it's not to take anything away from your mom, but sometimes, they can be a little bit too close to a situation, and it's easier to give this situation to somebody else to help you
right.
because they're not involved at all. And
No,
from standing from, a distance away, they can probably guide you a little bit better in certain
that's,
circumstances. And I'm
yeah.
just, like I said, I don't want to take anything away from moms, but sometimes I feel it's easier to talk to a
Oh,
stranger,
sure.
basically,
Definitely.
than your own mom.
Definitely. Like your aunt role, like a lot of
Exactly.
my nieces might come to me and say, can I talk to you about this? I don't want to upset my mom,
Yeah.
because like you say, they're too close to the situation.
Right.
But, and like I said, it's great to acknowledge them. I had an occasion this weekend to do just that at the event we were at. There was two moms in particular, and so one of them is a mother of three small children, and she had to get herself ready and all these children ready to be at this event for 1:30 in the afternoon. And I said to her, great job, like that's not easy to do in this day and age. Everybody has to be dressed up, hair done, and she looked amazing. And I told her that. I said, you look amazing, and I'm really proud that you're here. And it just, I could see that that made her feel good, made her day. And then the other mother is a single mom, raising two teenagers, and she's doing a heck of a job, a fabulous job, and I acknowledge that also. So Mother's Day is a day to maybe do an actual celebration, but celebrate moms every day. I mean, some of us have our moms here and some of us don't, and you have to remember that. And it's funny because this morning, as my daughter was leaving, I always say, okay, have a great day, I love you. And she goes, I love you too. And I said, are you sure? She goes, what? I said, are you sure about that? She goes, absolutely. So like it's easy just to say, yeah, I love you too, and go on your day. But I made her really acknowledge it. So, and she goes, without a doubt. And she kept saying those kind of words on the way out, like she felt I needed to hear that. So remember your moms, and give them calls and tell them how much you appreciate them and love them, and that they did a great job, because it's not an easy job, and we really don't know sometimes if we are doing a good job. And when we're acknowledged, it feels good, really feels good.
That's good. So what we wanted to do this week is actually kind of go around the globe a bit, just to acknowledge women and moms all around the world. Because I
Yes.
know that it's not celebrated everywhere. Some countries, it's also celebrated on a different day.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact is, like Andrea said, you can acknowledge a woman and a mom's role any day and every day, because moms aren't always that confident that they're doing a good job. And from other women, they really appreciate and feel acknowledged that
Right.
what they're doing is something good for the family and good for them, and they are doing a good job. And the fact is, Andrea, was a mom of, and is, but they're older, but she went through that, having three young children and having to do all those things, and she knows how difficult that can be. And so for her to acknowledge other women going through that, makes them feel good, because she might not have always got the pat on the back, but it is important to women to acknowledge
Right.
other women and the roles that they play. And in some cases, they have multi hats on constantly with
Definitely.
juggling.
Definitely.
So we hope that you ladies take some time for yourselves. Even if somebody is not doing something for you, you can do something for yourself. Just
Yep.
acknowledge the day is for you, single or not, because I am not a mom in having had my own children or adopted children or even stepchildren. But the fact is, I acknowledge myself for the role I do play in other people's children's
Exactly.
lives.
And be proud.
Be proud. Be proud to be a woman too.
Yes.
Anyway, so until next week, I'm Linda.
I'm Andrea. Have a
And
great Mother's Day.
have a great Mother's Day and enjoy the tribute that we have for you.
The 12th of May is the day we celebrate the women who have given us life, love, and endless support. We dedicated this day to you. Your strength inspires us, your love sustains us, and your presence enriches our lives beyond measures. Therefore, today's episode is dedicated to every mother out there. We hope they'll have the best days with their loved ones, filled with love and joy. Here's to the heart of the home, the queen of our hearts, and the guiding light in our lives. Happy Mother's Day to all the incredible moms out there.